And I feel like the 2024 Republican primary started some time ago, but it is really starting to heat up. What's interesting here is that I think Mike Pence must have a sense that he's not going to be Donald Trump's running mate. And if you're not going to be Donald Trump's running mate, then you might as well be his rival. I think it's one of those situations for Mike Pence.
Be the rival or the people who my followers want to kill or all those sorts of things. Pick your poison.
And I think this is probably more a function of Mike Pence getting a sense that he cannot win over certain elements of the Trump base than a sense that Trump is in some way weakened.
Well, he's in a no-win situation, right? They're all mad at him for not overturning the election. So you might as well, I guess, lean into it a little bit because you're already excommunicated by that.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. And I think, and you should, I've seen a little bit of this, not a lot, but the analysis that this is Mike Pence seeing a weakness in Donald Trump. No, I think it is more of what Emma has said, which is the die is cast. Pence is not going to win over those people who were chanting "Hang Mike Pence." My hope is he wins over no one else.
It seems like that makes sense. You're not going to win over the people that wanted to kill you.
I mean, if Donald Trump logically, if Donald Trump came out the next day or came out tomorrow and said, "I got to tell you, actually, I've looked at it, and Mike was in a tough spot, and so he's okay. I'm good with the God Squad people." I mean, that's what he needed Pence for, and but here's Mike Pence at giving a speech to the Federalist Society in Buena Vista, Florida. And interesting, he's doing it to the Federalist Society, sort of in many respects, reminding him like it was my peeps who were really concerned about the Supreme Court justice. And so, part of that credit goes to McConnell, who opened the door. And then the other part of that credit goes to me, who delivered those folks who want to turn this into a theocracy and knew one of the ways to do that was to get 2 or 3 Supreme Court picks. And alas, but here he is.
But there are those in our party who believe that as the presiding officer over the joint session of Congress, that I possess unilateral authority to reject electoral college votes. And I heard this week that President Trump said I had the right to overturn the election. President Trump is wrong.
Pause it for 1 second. Now, I find it hard to believe that Mike Pence heard this for the first time this week.
I was about to say, did he just wake up out of like a 14-month coma?
Honestly, they must have taken a poll or something in terms of like his Pence's likability, or maybe there was funding shifted from somewhere. Maybe somebody from the Koch brothers organization came to Pence and said, "We're willing to give you this type of cash if you're willing to try and take 4 or 5%, 8% from that solid 35 that he has."
That's very unfair. I mean, when you see him speak, he oozes sincerity. He would never do something like that.
Mike Pence, yes. What's also interesting is to watch, like, he is adopting George Bush's cadence.
Yeah.
And sort of like the...
he does the, like, I'm very sincere squint that I cannot stand.
That is actually media training that they tell you.
It's like
Bill
a news
Clinton
anchor
had
thing.
that too.
Yeah.
It is a way of showing people that you're really, really caring about them.
I'm listening.
Tell me more. Okay, let's hear more of Mike Pence.
And I heard this week that President Trump said I had the right to overturn the election. But President Trump is wrong. I had no right to overturn the election. The presidency belongs to the American people and the American people alone. And frankly, there is no idea more un-American than the notion that any one person could choose the American president. Under the Constitution, I had no right to change the outcome of our election. And Kamala Harris will have no right to overturn the election when we beat them in 2024.
Well, then you can make it scary, because then the Democrats can do it, and you know who would overturn it.
Kamala.
Who's gonna beat them, Mike?
That's right. We. I don't know if we are, Mike. I wonder, it wouldn't surprise me if Pence just goes to Desantis and said, like, I'll be your number 2.
Yeah.
I got another 8 years. Like, this is what Pence has got to be like, I don't want a job where I actually have to work.
And he feels so much cozier as a number 2, right? He's like such a authoritarian lackey. He needs a strong man to follow. He
also, again, can regain his position as the most powerful theocrat in the country. So there's Mike Pence coming out. It'll be interesting to see if there's any reaction to that amongst the wingnuts.
And by the way, about DeSantis, I don't even know if DeSantis would take him. He's kind of damaged goods at this point. Yeah.
Oh, Mike, retread, Mike. Retread, Mike.
Maybe you can...
Sloppy seconds. Sloppy seconds there, DeSantis. Sorry, Ron.
I found out your name means like something like pennies.
How awesome would it be if he was like, I'm running against... Now, you don't declare who your nominee, your vice president is until after the nomination. But it's Ron and re-Ron. All right.
There you go.
Maybe Kristi Noem will take you, Mike.
Here we go.